This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition.
All right, we have a bar cooler here. This is a brand new cooler. We literally installed it for the customer. They purchased it themselves and had it delivered to the restaurant, and we just came out and installed it for them probably about a week and a half ago. And they said that over the weekend, it started freezing product inside. And it worked, mind you, let me step back. After it was installed, it worked for, I don't know, they said a week or something or whatever it was. They said it worked for a few days at least. And then over the weekend, they said that all of a sudden it started freezing product. The fan shut off inside. The temperature controller went blank. And then the product got really warm. They put in a work order, asked me to come out on Monday. Then all of a sudden, it started working. And they said it's been working fine since sometime this weekend. So that's interesting. I come here. Looks like it's working right. Looks like everything's good in here. We're not iced up. You can literally still see blue tape from where we taped the holes that we silicone or used spray foam on. So I'll actually pull that blue tape off because we spray foamed all the penetrations because we had to do all sorts of things to get it installed right. So yeah, that's interesting. So I'm gonna get that off and we're gonna put a thermometer in here and troubleshoot this thing further. All right, check this out. Right off the bat, the first thing that I see is calcium. See the white calcium all right there? And it doesn't necessarily look like it came from up here because I don't see it right here really, but there is a sink right here. And there's a bunch of glasses. They wash things. We might have water damage due to, you know, them getting it wet or washing the floors or something. It seems to be temping right. When I got here, it was below 39, and then once it hit 39, it turned on. Everything started running. So let's keep looking, but we always observe. But yeah, look at that. There's calcium. Turn this off, you can see it even more. There's calcium in that control. Now there is a protective cover on it, I think. But yeah, those things can't handle that much water. Look at that, that's pretty bad. I really feel like these manufacturers don't do a good job of making these, but look at this. There's even calcium on the back of the screw. One of them has it, one of them doesn't. So it's not like it's thread locker because they're both screws on each side of it. We open this up, they don't give you very much room to work in here, but I mean, everything seems okay. I don't see a bunch of calcium here. Definitely see something right there though. It's interesting. And as I further look, you can clearly see that like there's, from this sink, there's calcium everywhere, right? It's all right here. This is old though. This is an old sink. But if you look down here, I told you that one of these screws had calcium, one does not. Look down here. Let me turn off the light. Well, actually, the light doesn't do it much different. But there's calcium all on the threads of this screw right here too, which coincides with the water running out of here. Let's see what happens when we turn these on and they wash stuff. Is it possible that, like, I'm gonna try to simulate them mistakenly getting things wet. If we do that, I'm curious, like, if it starts overflowing, if it starts dripping down that way. I mean, it doesn't seem too bad yet. I mean, it's overflowing here, obviously, but I'm just looking to see if I can simulate getting the water to go that way. Not necessarily seeing it. You can't push the water back too far, but right there is a problem. Let's let it keep running for a minute. Maybe if these get overfilled, it starts leaking out the sides or something. Pull the control out and look at that. Already has rust right there. Like, this thing is weeks old already. And then look at the control. You can see water had been dripping off the bottom and there's calcium all right there. This thing definitely got saturated. When I do this stuff, I like to give solutions. So what I did was I filled up every one of these because I was trying to see if maybe they were overflowing. They have these standpipes that don't really allow too much water to overflow, okay? But I filled them up and I'm sitting here, so let's make it run. The way that they do is they wash from this side over here, and this is the final, this is the sanitizer. So when they're done washing, you know, they got scrubbers and stuff down here, they dip in here, and I think what they're doing is just being a little too careless with the sanitizer. dripping down. And that kind of makes sense as to why we see rust, because I'm like, why rust? It's like something caused this to really corrode really fast, but the sanitizer potentially could be aiding in that. So yeah, I like to find solutions and prove theories. And even talking to the bar manager, to me, she already said they think they're just being a little too careless with the glasses, but that's literally the procedure. And as I do that, the water splashes right over into that area, which makes sense why you see calcium right there. Makes sense why you see calcium on that screw and not on that screw. Got to dig deeper and prove theories. At least that's what I try to do as much as possible. Still doesn't make sense as to why the control went blank and then now it's working, but water does weird things. It really does. You see this? I mean, it's clearly got damage. It's crazy. It also looks like it has some sort of syrup right here too, because that's kind of raised. So kind of crazy. So I stock, like I said, I stock these controls, and I was looking and it came with this. Look at this. Vinyl protector film. It came with a whole stack of these. I think they accidentally gave me all this, but look at that. They must know they have a problem with these controls. So let's see if I can get the manufacturer to cover this under warranty. Usually water damage means no warranty, but I mean, maybe they know they have a problem here. So let's open this up and get it changed out. Maybe the instructions tell me to use that or something. There's not really anything telling me how these vinyl protectors go on, but if you look at it, I mean, it makes sense to put it on this way, because then it covers that programming USB port, and then it kind of comes over the top right here and prevents water from getting in the top. I don't see why we can't put one on the bottom too, possibly, because there was water on the bottom, but that would potentially prevent that. They also had like a cover on here, but obviously it got around that. Kind of crazy. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get the sticker on, like, because you don't want to stick it down until you get the sensors on, and there's like not enough room to, yeah, it's kind of a chore here, but we're getting it. So we got it on the main part back in there, and then we'll put this cover on when we're done. I can see where this is going to help a little bit, maybe. You still got to be careful though. I guess that kind of protects it. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it kind of helps, and it still slides in, kind of gets back there. It covers the USB port over here, which is for programming, I'm pretty sure. So it's pretty decent. This isn't really sticking very well, but it is what it is. But everything's hooked back up, so I'm gonna put the cover on, put it in, and let's hope the control's all programmed correctly. Just plugged it in. 1, 2, 3, please don't blow up. Didn't blow up yet. So we're all covered up. Still think they should have like a bed or something or other, but at least we got that plastic cover down there now. I had to put a pan down here to be able to hold this up high enough to be able to deal with all this. So we're gonna wait for it to turn on. It should turn on at 39 and turn off at 34. And evaporator fan motors are running like they should be, so that's a good sign. Oh, another important piece of information is they said the evaporator fan motor shut off, but the lights in the box were still on, which indicates we had power and the control was just malfunctioning. So we just turned on at 39, and then it should turn off at 34. So we'll wait a few minutes and make sure it turns off at 34. All right, and we came down to 34 degrees. Evaporator fans are still running. There is an algorithm there that it uses, so we're good on that. So it seems like its settings are all good. They just got to work on their cleaning procedures here, so that way they don't keep ruining these controls. Drain the sink for them, because that was all my water. And we're gonna watch this box cycle one more time, and then we'll be good to go. So, you know, I am there on behalf of the customer. I'm not necessarily there on behalf of the manufacturer, even though I'm doing the warranty work for the manufacturer. But with that being said, I'm not going to cheat the manufacturer. I have, and this is what I explain to my customers, I have to let them know when there's water damage, because the way that it works is I pay for those temperature controllers up front. And then after, a couple weeks to a month, the manufacturer will decide to reimburse me. So if I can get ahead of the game and tell the manufacturer ahead of the time that they're going to deny the warranty claim, then I could save my money being tied up for no reason. So I'm honest with the manufacturer. If I see water damage, I'm telling them right away, because it's my money sitting, basically in the accounts of the parts distributors, waiting and waiting and waiting.
And it's just a pain in the butt. And there's nothing worse than back billing after the fact. Like, I don't do normal warranty work for manufacturers. I'm not there as a representative for them. So that's why I'm up front from the beginning. Like, look, I tell the customer the whole time I was there, the first thing I did when I saw water damage was I went and grabbed the manager before I even took it apart. Like, look, there's damage on here. Let me open it up. Look, there's damage here, you know, and work my way through the problem. It's a bummer, but I also like to try to help the manager and coach them in hopes that they can prevent this from happening again. So we simulated where the problem was. We said, hey, look, if you do the sanitizer like this, that's likely what's happening. And the manager's like, you're right, that is. And so now the manager's on my team too, right? Now it's not the manager that decides who's going to pay my invoices and stuff. I have to deal with the corporate office and stuff like that. But, you know, it's kind of a pain. Now the manufacturer still wanted me to go ahead and apply for warranty coverage, you know, and see if they'll accept it. We'll probably do something of the sort, you know, but I would rather back credit the customer if we end up getting credit from that than having to sit on that money for a month, because they're not going to authorize warranty for that. I mean, it literally clearly has water damage to it. So I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. This was a cool one. I love troubleshooting. I love finding the root of the problem, digging into it, this kind of stuff. It seems silly. It's a little temperature controller, but I love diagnosing things. I love communicating with the customer. It's a puzzle, and it's a fun puzzle. Some of the best service calls, in my opinion, after the fact are the ones that are the worst in the moment. The ones that frustrate you the most because you can't figure it out and you're just getting really angry. They typically, once you get them figured out and you get that problem licked, usually they turn out to be some of the best learning moments, the best memories, the best examples, and just the way it works for me. Thank you so very much for making it to the end. If you haven't already, please consider going to my YouTube channel, subscribing. If you want to shoot me an email, communicate with me, hvacrvideos@gmail.com. You can also go to truetechtools.com. I have an affiliate program set up with them. Use my offer code BIGPICTURE, one word, get a nice discount at checkout. I get a small commission from that. If you're also interested in supporting the channel, you know, the easiest way to do so is literally just watching these videos from beginning to end. That's the easiest way to support this channel, period, okay? Watch them from beginning to end. That's it, right? But you can monetarily support too. You can also do PayPal, Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. There's links in the show notes. I already mentioned my website, I think, hvacrvideos.com, where we have these hats, other merchandise, beanies, stickers. We have a few sweatshirts and t-shirts left, but we're not bringing those back in stock. So when the sweatshirts and t-shirts are gone, they're gone. The hats are what moves, and the beanies and the stickers, we're keeping those in stock. So again, hvacrvideos.com. I already mentioned truetechtools.com. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I really do appreciate you, and we will catch you on the next one.